an industry-defining CEO, and a leader whose work continues to shape the very trajectory of modern computing. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to the stage Chair and CEO of AMD, Dr. Lisa Su.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you. All right, what an audience. How are you guys doing tonight? That sounds wonderful. First of all, thank you, Gary, and welcome to everyone here in Las Vegas and joining us online. It's great to be here with all of you to kick off CES 2026. And I have to say, every year, I love coming to CES to see all the latest and greatest tech and catch up with so many friends and partners. But this year, I'm especially honored to be here with all of you to open CES. Now, we have a completely packed show for you tonight, and it will come as no surprise that tonight is all about AI. Although the rate and pace of AI innovation has been incredible over the last few years, my theme for tonight is you ain't seen nothing yet. We are just starting to realize the power of AI. And tonight, I'm going to show you a number of examples of where we're headed. And I'll be joined by some of the leading experts in the world, from industry giants to breakthrough startups. And together, we are working to bring AI everywhere and for everyone. So let's get started. At AMD, our mission is to push the boundaries of high performance and AI computing to help solve the world's most important challenges. Today, I'm incredibly proud to say that AMD technology touches the lives of billions of people every day. From the largest cloud data centers to the world's fastest supercomputers to 5G networks, transportation, and gaming, every one of these areas is being transformed by AI. AI is the most important technology of the last 50 years, and I can say it's absolutely our #1 priority at AMD. It's already touching every major industry, whether you're going to talk about healthcare or science or manufacturing or commerce, and we're just scratching the surface. AI is going to be everywhere over the next few years. And most importantly, AI is for everyone. It makes us smarter. It makes us more capable. It enables each one of us to be a more productive version of ourselves. And at AMD, we're building the compute foundation to make that future real for every company and for every person. Now, since the launch of ChatGPT a few years ago, I'm sure we all remember the first time we tried it. We've gone from 1 million people using AI to now more than 1 billion active users. This is just an incredible ramp. It took the internet decades to reach that same milestone. Now, what we are projecting is even more amazing. We see the adoption of AI growing to over 5 billion active users as AI truly becomes indispensable to every part of our lives, just like the cell phone and the internet of today. Now, the foundation of AI is compute. With all of that user growth, we have seen a huge surge in demand in the global compute infrastructure, growing from about 1 zettaflop in 2022 to more than 100 zettaflops in 2025. Now, that sounds big. That's actually 100 times in just a few years. But what you're going to hear tonight from everyone is we don't have nearly enough compute for everything that we can possibly do. We have incredible innovation happening. Models are becoming much more capable. They're thinking and reasoning. They're making better decisions. And that goes even further when we extend that to agents overall. So to enable AI everywhere, we need to increase the world's compute capacity another 100 times over the next few years to more than 10 yotaflops over the next 5 years. Now, let me take a survey. How many of you know what a yottaflop is? Raise your hand, please. A yottaflop is a 1 followed by 24 zeros. So 10 yottaflops is 10,000 times more compute than we had in 2022. There's just never, ever been anything like this in the history of computing. And that's really because there's never been a technology like AI. Now, to enable this, you need AI in every compute platform. So what we're going to talk about tonight is the whole gamut. We're going to talk about the cloud, where it runs continuously, delivering intelligence globally. We're going to talk about PCs, where it helps us work smarter and personalize every experience that we have. And we're going to talk about the edge, where it powers machines that can make real-time decisions in the real world. AMD is the only company that has the full range of compute engines to make this vision a reality. You really need to have the right compute for each workload. And that means GPUs, that means CPUs, that means NPUs, that means custom accelerators. We have them all. And each of them can be tuned for the application to give you the best performance as well as the most cost-effective solution. So tonight, we're going to go on a journey. So you're going to go with me through several chapters as we showcase the latest AI innovations across cloud, PCs, healthcare, and much more. So let's go ahead and start with the first chapter, which is the cloud. The cloud is really where the largest models are trained and where intelligence is delivered to billions of users in real time. For developers, the cloud gives them instant access to massive compute, the latest tools, and the ability to deploy and scale as use cases take off. The cloud is also where most of us experience AI today. So whether you're using ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok, or you're coding with copilots, all of these powerful models are running in the cloud. Now, today, AMD is powering AI at every level of the cloud. Every major cloud provider runs on AMD EPYC CPUs. And 8 of the top 10 AI companies use Instinct accelerators to power their most advanced models. And the demand for more compute is just continuing to go up. Let me just show you a few graphs. Over the past decade, the compute needed to train the leading AI models has increased more than 4 times every year, and that trend is just continuing. That's how we're getting today's models that are dramatically smarter and more useful. At the same time, as more people are using AI, we've seen an explosion over the last 2 years of inference, growing the number of tokens 100 times, really hitting an inflection point. You can just see how much that inference is really taking off. And to keep up with this compute demand, you really need the entire ecosystem to come together. So what we like to say is the real challenge is how do we put AI infrastructure at YATA scale? And that requires more than just raw performance. It starts with leadership compute, CPUs, GPUs, networking coming together. It takes an open modular rack design that can evolve over product generations. It requires high-speed networking to connect thousands of accelerators into a single unified system. And it has to be really easy to deploy. So we want full turnkey solutions. That's exactly why we built Helios, our next generation rack scale platform for the YATA scale AI era. Helios requires innovation at every single level: hardware, software, and systems. It starts with our engineering teams, who designed our next generation Instinct MI455 accelerators to deliver the largest generational performance increase we've ever achieved. MI455 GPUs are built using leading-edge 2-nanometer and 3-nanometer process technologies and advanced 3D chiplet packaging with ultra-fast, high-bandwidth HBM4 memory. This is integrated into a compute tray with our EPYC CPUs and Pensando networking chips to create a tightly integrated platform. Each tray is then connected with high-speed ultra-accelerator link protocol tunneled over Ethernet, which enables the 72 GPUs in the rack to function as a single compute unit. And then from there, we connect thousands of Helios racks to build powerful AI clusters using industry-standard Ultra Ethernet NICs and Pensando programmable DPUs that can accelerate AI performance even more by offloading some of the tasks from the GPUs. Now, we are at CES. It is a little bit about show and tell, So I am proud to show you Helios right here in Vegas, the world's best AI rack. Is that beautiful or what? Now, for those of you who have not seen a rack before, let me tell you, Helios is a monster of a rack. This is no regular rack, okay? This is a double-wide design based on the OCP Open Rack Wide standard developed in collaboration with Meta. And it weighs nearly 7,000 pounds. So, Gary, it took us a bit to get it up here, just so you know. But we wanted to show you what is really powering all of this AI. It is actually more than 2 compact cars. Now, the way we've designed Helios was really working closely with our lead customers, and we chose this design so that we could optimize serviceability, manufacturability, and reliability for next-generation AI data centers. Now, let me show you a few other things. At the center of Helios is the compute tray. So let's take a closer look at what one of those trays look like. Now, I can tell you, I probably cannot lift this compute tray, so it had to come out. But let me just describe it a little bit. Each Helios compute tray includes 4 MI455 GPUs, and they're paired with the next-gen EPYC Venice CPU and Pensando networking chips. And all of this is liquid-cooled so that we can maximize performance. At the heart of Helios is our next-generation Instinct GPUs. And you guys have seen me hold up a lot of chips in my career. But today, I can tell you, I am genuinely excited to hold up this chip. So let me show you MI455X for the very first time. MI455 is the most advanced chip we've ever built. It's pretty darn big. It has 320 billion transistors, 70% more than MI355. It includes 12 2-nanometer and 3-nanometer compute and I/O chiplets, and 432 gigabytes of ultra-fast HBM4, all connected with our next-gen 3D chip stacking technology. So we put 4 of these into the compute trays up here. And then driving those GPUs is our next-generation EPYC CPU, codenamed Venice. Venice extends our leadership across every dimension that matters in the data center. More performance, better efficiency, and lower total cost of ownership. Now, let me show you Venice for the first time. I have to say, this is another beautiful chip. I do love our chips, so I can say that for sure. Venice is built with 2-nanometer process technology and features up to 256 of our newest high-performance Zen 6 cores. And the key here is we actually designed Venice to be the best AI CPU. We doubled the memory and GPU bandwidth from our prior generation, so Venice can feed MI455 with data at full speed, even at rack scale. So this is really about co-engineering. And we tie it all together with our 800 gig Ethernet Pensando Vulcano and Selena networking chips, delivering ultra-high bandwidth as well as ultra-low latency, so tens of thousands of Helios racks can scale across the data center. Now, just to give you a little bit of the scale of what this means, that means that each Helios rack has more than 18,000 CDNA 5 GPU compute units and more than 4,600 Zen 6 CPU cores, delivering up to 2.9 exaflops of performance. Each rack also includes 31 terabytes of HBM4 memory, an industry-leading 260 terabytes per second of scale-up bandwidth, and 43 terabytes per second of aggregate scale-out bandwidth to move data in and out incredibly fast. Suffice it to say, those numbers are big. When we launch Helios later this year, and I'm happy to say Helios is exactly on track to launch later this year, we expect it will set the new benchmark for AI performance. And to put this performance in context, just over 6 months ago, we launched MI455, and we delivered up to 3x more inference throughput versus the prior generation. And now with MI455, we're bending that curve further, delivering up to 10 times more performance across a wide range of models and workloads. That is game-changing. MI455 allows developers to build larger models, more capable agents, and more powerful applications. And no one is pushing faster and further in each one of these areas than OpenAI. To talk about where AI is headed and the work that we're doing together, I'm extremely happy to welcome the president and co-founder of OpenAI, Greg Brockman, to the stage. Greg, it is so great to have you here. Thank you for being here. OpenAI truly started all of this with the release of ChatGPT a few years ago, and the progress you've made is just incredible. We're absolutely thrilled about our deep partnership. Can you just give us a picture of where are things today? What are you seeing, and how are we working together?
Well, first of all, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me. ChatGPT is very much the overnight success that was 7 years in the making, right? That we started OpenAI back in 2015 with a vision that deep learning could lead to artificial general intelligence, to very powerful systems that could benefit everyone. And we wanted to help to actually realize that technology and bring it to the world and democratize it. And we spent a long time just making progress, where year over year, the benchmarks would look better and better. But the first time we had something that was so useful that many people around the world wanted to use it was ChatGPT. And we were just blown away by the creativity and the ways in which people found how to really leverage the models we had produced in their daily lives. And so just out of curiosity, how many people in the room are ChatGPT users?
That's pretty much the whole room,
Yes.
Greg, I would
Thank
just say.
you. I'm glad to hear it. But very importantly, how many of you have had an experience that was very key to your life or the life of a loved one, whether it's in healthcare, in helping manage a newborn, in any other walk of your life? And to me, that's the metric that we want to optimize. And that seeing that number go up and to the right has been something that has been really different over 2025, right? That we really moved from being just a text box that you ask a question, you get an answer, something very simple contained, to people really using it for very personal, very important things in their lives. And it's not just in personal lives, for healthcare and aspects like that. It's also in the enterprise, right? And really starting to bring models like Codex to be able to transform software engineering. And I think that this year we're really going to see enterprise agents really take off. We're seeing scientific discovery start to be really accelerated, whether it's developing novel math proofs. The first time we saw that was just a couple months ago, and the progress is continuing. And it's really across every single endeavor of human knowledge work, where there's human intelligence that can be leveraged, right? That you can amplify it. We now have an assistant, right? We now have a tool, we have an advisor that is able to amplify what people want to do.
I completely agree with you, Greg. I think we have seen just an enormous acceleration of what we're using this tech for. Now, I would say, I think every single time I see you, you tell me you need more compute.
It's true. It's true.
It's almost like a broken record. Like you could just, just play the Greg wants more compute. Can you talk about just some of the things that you're seeing in the infrastructure, some of the bottlenecks, and where do you think we should be focusing as an industry?
Well, the why do we need more compute is the most important question, right? Which is really when the models are not that capable, right? And where we were in 2015, 2016, 2017, so forth, is that you basically just wanted to train a model and evaluate it, right? And maybe there'd be a very narrow task it'd be useful for. But as we've made this exponential progress on the models, then there's actually exponential utility to them people want to bring it into their lives in a very scalable way. And I think that what we're seeing is as we move from you ask a question, you get an answer, to agentic workflows, where you ask the model to write some software for you, and it goes off for minutes or hours or soon even days. And you're not just operating one agent, you're operating a fleet of agents, right? You can have 10 different work streams all going at once on your behalf for a single developer, right? And that it should be the case that you wake up in the morning, and this is the kind of thing we are going to build, by the way, and ChatGPT has taken items off your to-do list at home and at work. And that all of that, that's going to require that, that big graph that you had of how much compute the world's going to need. That's going to require far more compute than we have right now. Like, I would love to have a GPU running in the background for every single person in the world, because I think it can deliver value for them. But that's billions of GPUs. No one has a plan to build that kind of scale. And so what we're really seeing is benefits in people's lives, right? We're seeing, for example, some of my favorite applications, and some of the ones I think are the most important, are in healthcare, right? That we actually see people's lives being saved through ChatGPT. Just over the holidays, one of my coworkers, that her husband had leg pain. They went to the hospital, they went to the ER, and they got it x-rayed, and the doctors are like, it's a pulled muscle, just wait it out, you'll be fine. They went home, it got a little bit worse, typed the symptoms into ChatGPT. ChatGPT said, go back to the ER, this could be a blood clot. And in fact, it was deep vein thrombosis in the leg, in addition to 2 blood clots on the lungs. And if they just waited it out, that would have been likely fatal. It's not a unique story. Fiji, our CEO of applications, who I work very closely with every day, ChatGPT literally saved her life too, right? She was in the hospital for a kidney stone and had an infection. They were about to inject a antibiotic, and she said, wait just a moment. She asked ChatGPT whether that one was safe for her. ChatGPT, which has all of her medical history, said, no, because you had this other infection 2 years ago, that could re-trigger it, and that could actually be life-threatening as well. And so she showed it to the doctor. The doctor's like, wait, what? You had this condition? I didn't know. I only had 5 minutes to review your medical history.
Yes. I completely agree, Greg. I mean, that's one of the things that we can always, all of us can use a helper.
Yes.
And that's really what we have here. Look, I mean, I think you've painted a vivid picture of why we need more compute, of what we can do with AI. I think we feel exactly the same way. Now, we've also done an incredible amount of work with your engineering teams. MI455 and Helios is actually, a lot of it is through some of the feedback from our engineering teams working closely together. Can you talk a little bit about that infrastructure and what are your customers wanting, and how are you going to use MI455?
Well, one of the key things with how AI is evolving is thinking about the balance of different resources on the GPU. And so we have a slide to show how we've seen the evolution of this, the balance of resources across different MI generations. So you see this slide that I very painstakingly put together. Actually, I did not painstakingly put it together. I asked ChatGPT to go create the slide. And so it literally did all the research, and you can see some sources at the bottom. And it actually went and read a bunch of different AMD materials, created these charts, put together the title, put together all of these headers, and produced not just an answer for me to then go do a bunch of work. It produced an artifact that I can show. And this is just one simple example that you can do today with ChatGPT, right? That we are moving to a world where you are going to be able to have an agent that does all this work for you. And for that, we're going to need to have hardware that is really tuned to our applications. What we have in mind is that we're moving to a world where human attention, human intent becomes the most precious resource. And so that there should be very low latency interaction anytime a human's involved, but there should be an ocean of agentic compute that's constantly running, that's very high throughput. And these two different regimes of low latency and high throughput yield a bunch of different pressures on hardware manufacturers such as yourself. So it's a pleasure to be working together.
We like building GPUs for you. That works well. Lastly, Greg, let's talk a little bit about the future. Paint a picture. One of the things that we've talked about is there's some people out there who are wondering, is the demand really there? Can AI compute? Do we really need all of this AI compute? And I know you and I have talked about it. I think people don't have a view of the future that you see. I mean, you have a special seat. So paint the world for what this looks like in a few years.
Well, looking backwards, we have been tripling our compute every single year for the past couple of years. and we've also tripled our revenue. And the thing that we find within OpenAI is every time we want to release a new feature, we want to produce a new model, we want to bring this technology to the world, we have a big fight internally over compute, because there are so many things we want to launch and produce for all of you that we simply cannot because we are compute constrained. And I think we're moving to a world where GDP growth will itself be driven by the amount of compute that is available in a particular country, in a particular region. And I think that we're starting to see the first inklings of this. And I think over the next couple of years, we'll see it start to hit in a real way. And I think that AI is something where I think data centers can actually be very beneficial to local communities. I think that's a really important thing for us to really prove to people. But also the AI technology you produce, that is also something where, in terms of scientific advances, you think about what has been the most fundamental driver of increase of quality of life, right? It really is about science. And every time we've gone into specific domains, you just see how much limitation there is from how things are done, because that's just, there's a particular discipline that's built with a bunch of expertise, there are a small number of experts, and that it's hard for them to propagate that to future generations. For example, in biology, we hooked up GPT-5 to a wet lab setup and had humans described what the wet lab looked like. The model said, here are a couple of ideas to try. The humans would go try it, and it actually produced a 79x, almost 100x fold improvement in the efficiency of a particular protocol. And that's just one particular reaction that people have spent some time actually optimizing, but not like a ton of time, because it's just, there's so much surface area available in biology that no human can possibly get to all of it. No human can be an expert across every single subfield. And I think what we're going to see is AIs that really bridge across disciplines that humanity has been unable to bridge, right? You see this within healthcare, where as humans learn more, we specialize more, but we're going to have AIs that are going to amplify. And so I think it'll be for hard problems that AI will be brought to bear. This will be true for enterprise. Every single application, I think, will have an agent that is accelerating what people want to do. And I think the hardest problem for humanity will be deciding, how do we use the limited resources we have to get the most benefit for everyone?
That is an incredible vision, Greg. We are so excited to be working with you. I think there's no question in the world that we have the power to really change people's lives. Thank you for the partnership, and really look forward to it.
Thank you.
So, as you heard from Greg, compute is key, and MI455 is a game changer. But with the MI400 series, we've designed a full portfolio of solutions for cloud, enterprise, supercomputing, and sovereign AI. At the top is Helios, that's built for the bleeding-edge performance, hyperscale training, and distributed inference at rack scale. For enterprise AI deployments, we have Instinct MI440X GPUs that deliver leadership training and inference performance in a compact 8-GPU server designed for easy use in today's existing data center infrastructure. And for sovereign AI and supercomputing, where extreme accuracy matters the most, we have the MI430X platform that delivers leadership hybrid computing capabilities for both high-precision scientific and AI data types. This is something unique that we at AMD do. Because of our chiplet technology, we can actually have the right compute for the right application. Now, hardware is only part of the story. We believe an open ecosystem is essential to the future of AI. Time and time again, we've seen that innovation actually gets faster when the industry comes together and aligns around an open infrastructure and shared technology standards. And AMD is the only company delivering openness across the full stack. That's hardware, software, and the broader solutions ecosystem. Our software strategy starts with ROCm. ROCm is the industry's highest performance open software stack for AI. We have day zero support for the most widely used frameworks, tools, and model hubs. And it's also natively supported by the top open source projects like PyTorch, VLLM, SGLang, Hugging Face, and others that are downloaded more than 100 million times a month and run out of the box on Instinct, making it easier than ever for developers to build, deploy, and scale on AMD. One of the exciting AI companies using AMD and ROCm to power their models is Luma AI. Please join me in welcoming the Luma AI CEO and co-founder Amit Jain to the stage.
Lisa.
Hello, Amit. How are you? It's great to have you here with us. You're doing some incredible work in video generation and multimodal models. Can you tell us a little bit about Luma and what you're doing?
Absolutely. Lisa, thank you so much for having me here.
Of course.
Luma's mission is to build multimodal and general intelligence, so AI can understand our world and help us simulate and improve it. Most AI video and image models today, they're in early stages, and they're used to generate pixels. They're used to produce, pretty pictures. What is needed in the world are more intelligent models that combine audio, video, language, image all together. So at Luma, we are training these systems that simulate physics, causality, are able to go out, do research, call tools, and then finally render out the results in audio, video, image, text, whatever is appropriate for the information that you're trying to work with. In short, we are modeling and generating worlds. So as an example, let me show you some results from our latest model, Ray 3. By the way, Ray 3 is the world's first reasoning video model. So what it means is it actually is able to think first in pixels and latents and decide whether what it's about to generate is good. And it's also the world's first model that can generate in 4K and HDR. So please take a look.
When you close your eyes, what do you see? When we talk about reality, how do you know what is real? Or what is simply your imagination? Now open your eyes.
I could say, Amit, that looked pretty incredible. So tell us, how are customers using Ray 3 today?
So we are working with very large enterprises as well as individual creators across the spectrum. And we work with them in advertising, media, entertainment, and industries where, you want to tell your story. 2025 was the year when they started to deploy our models and experiment with them. And towards the end of it, we are seeing large-scale deployments where people are using our models for as much as actually making a 90-minute feature-length movie. What customers are also asking us a lot for, as they're using it more and more, is control and precision. How can they get their particular vision out onto the screen? And what we have realized, and through our research, is that control comes from intelligence, not just better prompts. You can't keep typing in again and again and actually do those things. So we have built a whole new model on top of Ray 3 called Ray 3 Modify that allows you to edit the world. So let me show you actually what that looks like. This won't have audio, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what you're seeing. So what's playing on the screen is a demo of Ray 3's world editing capabilities. It can take any real or AI footage, so footage from cameras or footage that you generated, and change it as little or as much as you want to realize the creative goals. It's a powerful system that we have developed for our most ambitious customers who are most demanding, and they spread the gamut across entertainment, advertising, and this has allowed us to enable a new era of hybrid human-AI productions. The human becomes the prompt through motion, timing, and direction. You act it out, and then the model can produce it. What that means in practice is that filmmakers and creators can create entire cinematic universes, now without elaborate sets, and then edit and modify anything to get to the result they want. This has never been possible before. But in 2026, we are focused on actually going much further. 2026 will be the year of agents, where AI will be able to help you to accomplish more of the task, or hopefully the full end-to-end of the task, rather than doing some patchwork. So our teams have been working diligently, building the world's most powerful multimodal agent models. Using Luma will suddenly feel like you have a large team of capable creatives who are working with you in your creative pursuit. I want to show you a brief demo of what that would feel like. So what you're seeing here is a new multimodal agent that can take a whole script of ideas with characters and everything and start imagining that in front of you. Now, this is not script to movie. This is human-AI interaction. And our next generation of models provide the ability to analyze multiple frames, long-form video, and make selection and maintaining the fidelity of the characters, scenes, and story, and only editing when it's needed. Here you're seeing human and AI collaborate in designing characters, environments, shots, and the whole world. And with our agents, we believe that creatives will be able to make entire stories, what used to take a large production before. Again, this has never been possible before, and we have been using it heavily internally, and we couldn't be more excited. Individual creatives or small teams will suddenly have the power of doing what entire Hollywood studios do.
That's pretty amazing. It's really nice to see how these Luma agents come together and make this happen. Now, I know you have a lot of choices in compute, and when we first started talking, actually, you called me and said you needed compute, and I said I thought I could help. Can you tell us a bit about why you chose AMD, and what has your experience been?
Yeah, we bet on AMD very early on. That call was in 2024, early 2024. And since then, our partnership has grown into a large-scale collaboration between our teams, so much so that today, 60% of Luma's rapidly growing inference workloads actually run on AMD cards. Today, we also, initially when we started out, we used to do a bunch of engineering. But today, we are at a point where most any operators, most any workloads that we can imagine run out of the box on AMD. And this is huge props to your software teams and the diligent work that is going into the ROCm ecosystem. We are building multimodal models, and actually, these workloads are very complex compared to text models. One example of that is these consumes hundreds of times, thousands of times more tokens. A video that you saw, a 10-second video, is about 100,000 tokens easily. Compare that to a response from an LLM. It's about 200 to 300 tokens. So when we are working with this much information, TCO and inference economy is absolutely critical to our business. Otherwise, there's no way to serve all the demand that is coming our way. Through our collaboration with the AMD team, we have been able to achieve some of the best TCO is total cost of ownership, that we have ever seen in our stack. And we believe as we build these more complex models that are able to do autoregressive diffusion and that are able to do text and image and audio and video all at the same time, this collaboration will allow us to significantly differentiate on cost and efficiency, which, as you know, in AI is a big deal. So, through this collaboration, we have developed such a degree of confidence that in 2026, we are expanding our partnership to a tune of about 10 times what we have done before. And these 455 cards, and I cannot be more excited for MI455X because this, the rack scale solution and the memory and the infrastructure that you're building is essential for us to be able to build these world simulation models.
Well, we love hearing that, Amit. And look, our goal is to deliver you more powerful hardware. Your goal is to make it do amazing things. So just give us a little brief view of what do you see customers doing over the next few years that just isn't even possible today?
Right. So as Greg was mentioning, early on in LLM land, right, in 2022, 2023, they were great for writing copies, small emails, things like that. We could have never imagined that we would actually put these models, into real-time systems, into healthcare and these kind of things. Through accuracy and architecture and scaling, LLMs have now gotten to that point. Video models are currently in that early stage. Today, they're great for generating video and pretty pictures. But soon, by scaling these models up, by improving the accuracy and data, we would end up at a place where these models will help us simulate real physical processes in the world, like CAD, architecture, fluid flows, help us design entire rocket engines, plan cities. And this is not outrageous. This is what we do today manually with big, giant teams in simulation environments. These models will allow us to do that and automate that to a great degree. And as they become more and more accurate, multimodal models is what we need for the backbone of general-purpose robotics. Your home robot, will run hundreds of simulations in its head, in image and video, and then try out, like, okay, how do I do this? How do I solve this? So that it's able to do a lot more than current generation of LLM and VLM robots are able to do. This is how the human brain works. Humans are natively multimodal. Our AI systems will be as well.
That sounds wonderful, Amit. Look, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for the partnership, and we really look forward to all that you're going to do next.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So you've heard from Greg and Amit. What they said is they need more compute to build and run their next-gen models. And it is the same across every single customer that we have, which is why the demand for compute is growing faster than ever. Now, meeting that demand means continuing to push the envelope on performance far beyond where we are today. MI400 series was a major inflection point in terms of delivering leadership training across all workloads, inference, scientific computing. But we are not stopping there. Development of our next-gen MI500 series is already well underway. With MI500, we take another major leap in performance. It's built on our next-gen CDNA 6 architecture, manufactured on 2-nanometer process technology, and uses higher-speed HBM4E memory. And with the launch of MI500 in 2027, we're on track to deliver 1,000x increase in AI performance over the last 4 years, making more powerful AI accessible to all. So with that, thank you. So with that, now let's shift from the cloud to the devices that make AI more personal, PCs. So for decades, the PC has been about a powerful device helping us be more productive, whether at work or at school. But with AI, the PC has become not just a tool, but it's a powerful, essential part of our lives as an active partner. It learns how you work, and it adapts to your habits, and it can help you do things faster than you've ever expected, even when you're offline. AI PCs are starting to deliver real value across a wide range of everyday tasks, from content creation and productivity to intelligent personal assistants. Let's just take a look at a few of the AI PC applications today. Starting with content creation. These videos were created from simple text prompts on a Ryzen AI Max PC, so not in the cloud, but in a local environment. Anyone can generate professional quality photos and videos in minutes with no design expertise. Microsoft has been a key enabler of AI PCs, helping bring next-generation capabilities directly into our productivity tools. For example, managing your meetings, summarizing emails, quickly finding files that you need, using real-time translation on video conferences. And with Microsoft Copilot, advanced AI capabilities are being built directly into the Windows experience to complete tasks faster. You just describe what you need, and the PC takes it from there. Now, at AMD, we saw the AI PC wave early, and we invested. That's why we've led every inflection point. We were the first to integrate a dedicated on-chip AI engine in 2023, and the first to deliver Copilot Plus x86 PCs in 2024. And with Ryzen AI Max, we created the first single-chip x86 platform that could run a 200 billion parameter model locally. And now we're extending that leadership again with our next-gen Ryzen AI notebook and desktop processors. So today, I'm proud to announce the new Ryzen AI 400 series, the industry's broadest and most advanced family of AI PC processors. Ryzen AI 400 combines up to 12 high-performance Zen 5 CPU cores, 16 RDNA 3.5 GPU cores, our latest XDNA 2 NPU delivering up to 60 TOPS of AI compute, and support for faster memory speeds. These flagship Ryzen AI mobile processors deliver significantly faster content creation and multitasking performance compared to the competition. Now, there's a lot of excitement for the Ryzen AI 400 series, and if you're walking around CES this week, you're going to see many notebooks launching this week. The first Ryzen AI 400 series PCs begin shipping later this month, with more than 120 ultra-thin gaming and commercial PCs launching throughout the year from every major OEM across every AI PC form factor. Now, powering the next generation of AI PC experiences takes more than just hardware. It takes smarter software with models that are lighter, faster, and can run directly on device. These are different than what you're seeing in the cloud. So to talk more about this next wave of model innovation, please welcome Ramin Hassani, co-founder and CEO of Liquid AI. Ramin, it's great to have you here. I'm very excited about the work that you guys are doing at Liquid. You were really taking a different approach to models. Can you talk a little bit to the audience about what Liquid is doing and why it's different from others?
Absolutely, Lisa. It is great to be here. We're a foundation model company spun out of MIT 2.5 years ago. We're building efficient generative AI models that can run fast on any processor inside and outside of data centers. We designed from scratch multimodal models with a hardware-in-the-loop approach that allows us to optimize neural architectures for a given hardware. We are not building transformer models. We are building liquid foundation models. Powerful, fast, and processor-optimized generative models. The goal is to substantially reduce the computational cost of intelligence from first principles without sacrificing quality. That means liquid models deliver frontier model quality right on a device. Device could be a phone, could be a laptop, could be a robot, could be a coffee machine, and could be an airplane. Basically, anywhere compute exists with 3 value propositions: privacy, speed, and continuity. It can work seamlessly across online and offline workloads.
Ramin, our teams have been working really closely on bringing more capable models to AI PCs. Can you share a bit about that work?
Absolutely. Today, I've got 2 new product announcements. 1, we are excited to announce Liquid Foundation Models 2.5, the most advanced tiny class of models on the market. At only 1.2 billion parameters, the model performs best on instruction following capabilities between its class and models that are larger in its class. LFM 2.5 instances are the building blocks of reliable AI agents on any device. To put this in perspective for you, this model delivers instruction following capabilities better than the DeepSeek models and Gemini Pro kind of models, Gemini 2.5 Pro, right on the device. We are releasing 5 model instances: a chat model, an instruct model, a Japanese enhanced language model, a vision language model, and a lightweight audio model, audio language model, basically. These are highly optimized for AMD Ryzen AI CPUs, GPUs, and NPUs. And today, they are available for download on Hugging Face and on our own platform, Leap. There you can enjoy them.
That's pretty cool.
So we can stack these LFM 2.5 instances together to build agentic workflows. But then it would be really amazing if we can bring in all these modalities into one place. So that brings me to my second announcement, LFM 3. LFM 3, it is designed natively multimodal to process text, vision, and audio as input and deliver audio and text as an output in 10 different languages with sub-100 millisecond latency for audio-visual data. You will get LFM 3 later in the year.
All right, that's fantastic. So now, Ramin, help our audience understand, why should they be so excited about LFM 3? What can we do with these models on an AI PC?
Absolutely. So most assistants, AI assistants, co-pilots today are reactive agents. You open an app, then you ask a question, it responds. But when the AI is running fast on the device and is always on, it can be working, on the tasks proactively for you. The task can be done in the background. So let me show you a quick demo, a reference design to inspire what is possible to build on PCs with LFM instances. Let's jump in. Imagine you're a sales leader working on your AMD Ryzen laptop with LFM3 backbone proactive agents activated. You're in full focus mode, working on a spreadsheet. Notifications start piling up. You get a calendar notification for a sales meeting, but want to continue your work in deep focus. A liquid proactive agent notices the meeting and offers to join on your behalf. You allow the agent to join, and while you focus on your data analysis task, in the background, the meeting is in progress with your agent representing you.
Are you sure we can trust this agent?
I think.
I'm a little worried there, Ramin.
This system can actually transcribe more than transcribing your systems, and really understanding what is going on. And the system can also be hooked up to your email platform. It can analyze your emails, as your emails are actually coming out. It can perform a deep research functionality. So with the deep research functionality, you can analyze every email and draft a response for you. Again, everything under your own control. You're not going to go, this is not going to go rogue. Everything is offline locally on the device. So this system can deliver, a summary. It can do the jobs better than what you have expected, what you have seen from reactive agents. I think this year is going to be the year of, proactive agents. And I'm very excited to announce that we're collaborating with Zoom to bring these features to the Zoom platform, actually.
That's fantastic. Ramin, we're really excited about what you're doing. I think you've just given people just a glimpse of what we can do when we bring, true AI capability to our PCs. So thank you. We're excited, and we look forward to all we're going to do together.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
So now you've seen a little bit about what's possible with local AI, but the latest PCs aren't just running AI apps, they're actually building them. That's why we created Ryzen AI Max, the ultimate PC processor for creators, gamers, and AI developers. It's the most powerful AI PC platform in the world, with 16 high-performance Zen 5 CPU cores and 40 RDNA 3.5 GPU compute units, and an XDNA 2 NPU delivering up to 50 TOPS of AI performance, all connected by a unified memory architecture that supports up to 128 gigabytes of shared memory between the CPU and GPU. In premium laptops, Ryzen AI Max is significantly faster in both AI and content creation applications compared to the latest MacBook Pro. In small form factor workstations, Ryzen AI Max delivers comparable performance at much lower price than NVIDIA's DGX Spark, generating up to 1.7 times more tokens per second per dollar when running the latest GPT OSS models. And because Ryzen AI Max supports both Windows and Linux natively, developers maintain full access to their preferred software environment, tools, and workflows. Now, there are more than 30 Ryzen AI Max systems in market today, with new laptops, all-in-ones, and compact workstations launching at CES and rolling out throughout the year. But our mission is to advance AI everywhere for everyone. The truth is, there are AI developers, many of you in this room, who want access to platforms that enable you to develop on the fly. So we took this one step further. Today, I'm excited to announce the AMD Ryzen AI Halo, a new reference platform for local AI deployment. Now, I would say this is pretty beautiful. Do you guys agree? So let me tell you what it is. This is the smallest AI development system in the world, capable of running models with up to 200 billion parameters locally, not connected to anything. It's powered by our highest-end Ryzen AI Max processor with 128 gigabytes of high-speed unified memory that is shared by CPU, GPU, and NPU. This architecture accelerates system performance and makes it possible to efficiently run large AI models on a compact desktop PC that fits in your hand. Thank you. Halo supports multiple operating systems natively, ships with our latest ROCm software stack, comes preloaded with the leading open source developer tools, and runs hundreds of models out of the box. And this really gives developers everything you need to build, test, and deploy local agents and AI applications directly on the PC. Now, for all of you who are wondering, Halo is launching in the second quarter of this year, and we can't wait for folks to get their hands on them. So now let's turn to the world of gaming and content creation. A few gamers out there. I think there are a lot of gamers out there. Look, every day, gamers and creators rely on AMD across Ryzen and Radeon PCs, Threadripper workstations, and consoles from Sony and Microsoft to deliver tens of billions of frames. And while the visual quality of those frames has advanced dramatically over the years, the way we build those worlds really hasn't. It still takes teams months or even years to bring a 3D experience to life. Now, AI is really starting to change that. To show what's next in 3D world creation, I'm honored to introduce one of the most influential figures in AI. Known as the godmother of AI, her work has transformed how machines see and understand the world. Please welcome the co-founder and CEO of World Labs, Dr. Fei-Fei Li. Fei-Fei, we are so excited to have you here. You know, you've been one of the leaders shaping AI for decades. Can you just give us a little bit of your perspective? Where are we today, and why did you start World Labs?
Yeah, first of all, thank you, Lisa, for inviting me to be here. Congratulations to all the announcements. I can't wait to use some of them. So it's true that there has truly been great breakthroughs in AI progress in the past few years. And as you said, I've been around the block for a while, for more than 2 decades, and I really cannot be more excited than now by where things are going. So in the past few years, language-based intelligence in AI technology really has taken the world by storm. We're seeing the proliferation of all kinds of capabilities and applications. But the truth is, there's a lot more than just language intelligence. Even for us humans, there's more than passively looking at life in the world. We are incredible spatial intelligent animals, and we have profound capabilities that use our own spatial intelligence that connects perception with action. Think about all of you being here, how you brave through airports this morning. I'm one of them, or woke up in your hotel room and get to the nice coffee shop, or find your way in this maze in Vegas to be here. All this requires spatial intelligence. So what excites me is that there's now a new wave of Gen AI technology for both embodied AI and generative AI that we can finally give machines something closer to the human level spatial intelligence. It's the ability to not only perceive, but create 3D or even 4D worlds, reason about objects and people, and imagine entirely new environments that still obey the laws of physics and dynamics in worlds, virtual or real. So that's why I started World Labs. I really want to bring